Hi people, how are you? Today we are going to be talking about Only I Should Remain by Rebecca Schaeffer. It's the second one in the Not Only Monsters trilogy, and I'm speechless with these books. Not only the plot is fantastic, but the characters, the art, the evolution of the characters, the questioning of their own morality, what makes them monsters, what makes them human, how far they are willing to go in order to protect themselves, to question about I'm doing that in order to survive, or it's going to be like mindless revenge, where am I exactly in this world, what it's going to be my next choice, my next line that I say that I wouldn't cross but maybe I will be crossing. And yeah, there's a lot of things about these books that interest me. And as I say in the review of the first one, the fact that we are going to be following a character who's not a hero, but probably an anti-hero. I don't know if I will qualify her as a villain, because in fact she's doing what she can to survive in a world that treats those who are differently in a very different way. And it brings me to the part of the book that I really enjoy, is that I'm reading the book and I'm enjoying the plot, as I say, and I'm enjoying the characters and I'm enjoying the places the characters go, both mentally and also like physically, the adventures that they confront and everything that happens to them. But I also love how this book makes you think about how the world treats those who are different. Here we're going to have characters who are going to have darker skin and they are treated differently. But it also gets even harder for them because some of them are unnaturals, people with abilities. And most of them, or some of them, are going to be labeled as people that can be hunted, people that can be destroyed because those unnaturalist things that make them who they are. They're seen as dangerous. But the book makes you think about what makes a monster a monster. If you have a kid, and this kid, since he's small, you are telling him that he's evil, that he does evil things, that he's a monster. Probably this kid is going to be growing up and thinking that he really is a monster, and that the only way that things can be done is in a monstrous way, because that little kid has been molded into this monster and has never given another choice, another path. Maybe these abilities that these people have can be used in different ways, but since they are kids, they have been taught, that the only path open for them is the path of the evil person or the monster. And so, as I say, they grow up believing that's the only option left to them. And obviously, that benefits people. If you have an unnatural person who has abilities, and it happens that these abilities also translate into their flesh. You can eat a vampire and it is going to give you extra years to live. So it makes sense that the government are going to be labeling vampires as evil. So it can't justify killing them because they are not human, they are monsters. So the consumption of their flesh, it's kind of legal. You know where I'm going with this? This book really makes you think about lots of topics and lots of things about the differences in power and how those people in power have money and they can cover up for their mistakes and for the things, and they can erase wherever they want. Maybe they are going into a killing spree, but they have money, they have reputation, they have power, and they can erase all of this so the public doesn't know. So the people who are in the other side of this balance of power, the people who have less, are the ones that are going to be persecuted, and the ones that are going to be singled out, and those people who look differently. So these books for me are very thought-provoking, in which it's very obvious that they are drawing parallelisms into things that you can see nowadays. And for me, the story is amazing, the world building is amazing, as I say, the plot is amazing, the characters are top-notch. But what really resonates with me, it's all these messages that the author is sharing with you and making you think about different things, and how, for me, these are like the real plot twists, how you find yourself thinking about things that probably, at the very beginning of the book, you have characters that are presented to you as monsters, and you go with it because they are monsters and they do monstrous things. But when you began to think that maybe if they had had another chance, another schooling, another presentation to the world, maybe they will be different. Maybe they will be like us, and then, you know, there will be like restrictions about hunting them or mistreating them or abusing them. So the people in power positions doesn't want that. So yeah, I mean, that's a very powerful message here in these books. So what are we going to find in this one? We're going to be following Nita from the previous book. She escaped the black market. They wanted to eat her because they thought that her body had properties that could be passed on by injuring them. So there's this breaking point in her in which she decides that she's not going to be kept a prisoner. She's not going to be eaten alive. So other people can, you know, benefit from the supposed abilities which haven't been proven that eating her will give them. So she enrolls Kovit, who's a Zani. Zani feeds on pain. They could choose to feed on pain like in hospitals and things like that, but they are like master torturers. And yeah, Kovit is going to be like this very amazing character, and this book is going to be very eye-opening, I think, about what makes a monster and what makes a human. And yeah, they kind of make this alliance work in which they help each other, and they're going to be I'm not going to explain much more about this book. They are going to be meeting in Canada, where Nita, she's going to be persecuted, because if you remember Fabrizio from the first book, they're going to be encounters. She's going to try to kill him, and that's going to come back to beat her ass, because he's not going to sit down and take it. He's going to, wanting to put her like in a most wanted list, so someone kills her. So yeah, it's like, this book also makes you think about revenge and vengeance and things like that. Like, okay, you are hell-bent on destroying him, but he escapes, so he's now more hell-bent on destroying you. Like, now you're more hell-bent. It's like this conflict escalation, and yeah, I mean, it's like, I feel like sitting them down, talk your differences, learn where everything is coming from, please. But yeah, we will not have a book then, and we will not have all the thoughts that accompany that. So yeah, we're going to have Nita and Kovit like trying to run for their lives and to protect each other. And there's going to be raising more questions about those times in which Nita feels like she's losing herself, because she's thinking, okay, when I kill all those people on the black market, it was kind of justified because I was saving myself. And here it's also justified if I kill more people, right? Because I'm, again, trying to save myself. And I wonder, in this self-love journey, if she's going to realize, I'm not going to say anything about what happens in the book, but is she going to realize that maybe she's making things worse by trying to keep, this revenge thing going on? Maybe things could be worked in a different way, or maybe they couldn't, I don't know. But what I did love about this book, without making any kind of a spoiler, is that the decisions she makes have consequences, all of them. And I love how real the author keeps everything, the actions and the consequences and the different places that Nita is going to find herself, not only physically, as I say, but mentally, and how far she's going to go to justify how different she is from the rest of the monsters. Well, maybe being the worst monster herself, I don't know, you have to read the book to know that. And I also love, we are going to be learning more about Kovit. I thought at the first book that he was like an interesting character, but I didn't know how much backstory the character could have, and still making him a monster, but also a lovable monster, but also a monster. I love how the author makes you think about it, like constantly. Like, you begin to love him as a person, but then you have the shadow of the monster behind, and it's like this very subtle line. And I love everything that's brought into his story, and as I say, what it means for you as a reader, as a human, and how many windows you haven't been seeing because you're looking like at the monster and you're not thinking about anything else, or if anything else is possible beyond the monster. I'm loving this book, and how much it made me think about these kind of things. And yeah, I mean, the books are amazing, guys. I mean, the story, as I say, it's amazing. I love how actions have consequences, how characters are going to be like in the receiving ends of good actions and also bad actions, and how they are going to be shaping them moving forward, and how they are going to keep spiraling in and out of control. I'm not going to tell you about it, but I love that it's really a feasible book. It's something that could happen, someone who could be forced to kill to save their own lives, and how far they are going to go to keep on, being safe, or the idea of being safe that they have, and how many lines and boundaries and morals are going to be lost or not, in this crusade to save yourself or to justify the things that you are doing. Maybe they are incorrect, but you are like in that place in which you feel like justifying yourself, and does the end justify the middle and everything? It's amazing. I also love the different monsters that we are going to be finding here. Monsters like unicorns, that we had like different ideas of them, ghouls, vampires, kelpies. And I love the imagination that the author has and the many twists that she has put into the legends and lore and mythos that we already knew. And she has created different organizations that protect the monsters, or do they to protect them? It's amazing, as I said, and there's a lot of things that will make you think about how justice works, how rising somewhere, nature versus nurture. There's lots of things to unpack on this book. So yeah, if you like a lecture that's like nothing that you have ever read, a book that's going to be different, that's going to be resonating with you long after you close the page, and you're going to keep thinking about the different eye-openers moments that you have with it, pick this one because it's completely amazing. Also, we're going to be following characters who are not our typical heroes. As I say, they're like anti-heroes, they are villains. I don't know, you have to choose for yourself how you situate them. And I'm not ready to read the third one because it's the last one, and I love this world so much, and I love the characters so much, and I don't know what the author is going to pull on her last book, because the last book of the trilogy, because anything can happen in these books, and anything do happen in this book. So pick them, they're amazing. Thank you for watching. Bye.